Let's do it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to VYTALCast number 64. Here with Jake Retake, and I'm your host, Portal64. In case you guys don't know who I am, uh, we already got some.
That'd be an interesting conundrum if they were on your channel waiting for the stream and didn't know who you were. They just like at that split second stumbled on the stream.
I could tell you something that's probably a little worse than that. A lot of people go into my VYTALCast panel at RTX, and they're like, "Oh, who's that guy?" And it's me, like they know everyone else, and then I'm like, "Hi, I'm Portal64." Like,
I'm the guy running the show.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Like,
I had so many people stop me on the expo floor afterwards, like, "You're that VYTALCast guy, right?" I'm like, "That's me, Mr. VYTALCast. Here you go."
Yeah, would you like a proof of ID? Like, I have a card. That's what it says on my identification. My birth certificate. VYTALCast guy.
My parents are like, "Hey, we should name him after this anime tournament that hasn't even happened yet." Like,
forward thinkers. I like it. I like it.
Oh yeah. All right. So I just want to say hello to some people in the chat already, like Zwol Sensei. They were the ones that were first. They're
yeah, there's definitely some members of my Discord in here.
Yeah, and there's Naso saying hello, and Thunderstorm, and Maria. We're gonna be talking a lot about Maria.
Oh, we're gonna be talking about Miss Maria.
Oh yeah, and we also got Stark Raving, and Vicent. Hello. Oh, and Verifin Inspector Who. Okay, so do you have any part of the episode you want to start with the discussion?
That is a fantastic question. Yeah, see, I kind of segmented it into mainly like the four, kind of three main parts, because I'm kind of coupling Argus and like the ending. Yeah. Probably to discuss the beginning would be proper.
Okay.
Cinder Neo. That relationship, how that's going to be moving forward, I'm incredibly excited to see, because it's going to be a slow burn, I feel like. Okay. I think both of them distrust each other immensely. And, like, they're both... It's interesting, because they're both just using each other. I mean...
Yeah.
It's a little tough to get Neo's motivations, given the fact that, we don't get the benefit.
I think she's just in it for revenge, really.
Sure, yeah. I'm just interested to see, like, how she goes about, because I feel like she's more so interested in getting revenge for Roman on, through Cinder and taking out Cinder, because I think she's blaming Cinder for putting Roman into that situation in the first place. Oh, yeah, totally. And I feel like you could see her eyes in that scene, even where she wasn't even that pumped about Ruby. She was just like, I guess I'll kill her. Like that kind of, I mean, that kind of, like, mentality.
If you think about it, the whole situation is Cinder is like, "Hey, you're gonna kill Ruby, or I'll just kill you myself." Like, yeah, that's kind of how the whole situation looks like to me.
Pretty much, and also in that same vein with Cinder, like, obviously using Neo because she's been given orders that she can't kill Ruby, but she's facilitating the killing. So I don't know. This was a question I did have when we first discovered that Cinder was alive in chapter 2, right? Not mistaken.
Yeah, chapter 2.
And my question was, like, is she still gonna be loyal to Salem? Is she still gonna kind of be, because there was even some hint of rebelliousness when she was kind of at the round table, so to speak. So I was interested to see, like, where Cinder's loyalties lie, because it seems like she's going a little rogue at the moment. So that'll be interesting, kind of moving forward to see, like.
From my analysis of Cinder, I think she's very much like an ego-driven person. Like, she has a lot of pride in herself, and
for sure, yeah.
That's kind of like what her seek for power is for, and like Ruby has like tainted that time and time again. So it's kind of like, you know what? I know the big boss said to do this, but let's do that instead. She's playing a dangerous line with having Neo kill Ruby, because I'm like, I don't think Salem's that dumb to be like, oh yeah, sure, you just let Neo kill her, sure, go ahead.
Sure. And also, Salem is more or less, like, from what we've seen, pretty a pretty omnipotent force. Like she knows what's going down at pretty much all times. Like that's that weird creature that we still haven't really gotten too much in depth on.
Yeah.
That floating crystal ball with tentacles. It's like, you know, maybe we haven't been looking. It's been like around a corner in the scene and just like goes around it.
Oh.
And it's just Salem's eye, like the eye of Sauron, just kind of going around. So
just following Cinder. She's
Just
like,
following.
oh, ignore that.
But yeah, you're absolutely right, because I just feel like Cinder just, it gets into situations where her ego takes over, and it's like, Cinder, take a step back, realize that you don't got this. You don't got this. Just take a step back and take a chill pill. Like this ain't it. This ain't it.
Yeah, this ain't this ain't it, Chief.
This ain't
you know?
it, Chief. I didn't want to say it, but yeah.
Okay, let's see. So I want to see, like, so some of the chat, Inspector Who is asking, so why does Salem want Ruby alive? And Vincent says, to kill herself, question mark? That is a theory about, like, why she's after people with the silver eyes.
I thought it was a bit of a meme at first, but that's true. Like, I mean, in a lot of ways, I feel like Salem is just kind of lashing out in torment, because I mean she's lashing out because she is tormented. Like, I don't think in a lot of respects she wants to be the way she is. I think I think she's out of spite acting in the way she is for, like, the world, the gods, Ospen, like doing everything because she kind of feels betrayed almost in a way by life and, like, all the things that have happened to her.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, realistically, we think back to chapter 3, like, Salem and Ospen, their intentions were pretty damn pure. They just wanted to love each other and be with each other. And then, of course, the god of light and darkness had their fun.
They played tennis with Oz. Like, it's just like...
like, oh my god, I can't even... Ospen is just... Oh my god.
The poor guy,
the poor guy.
At least he doesn't remember that event directly, because, like, when he was in that, like, purgatory, he's like, where's Salem? Like, what's been going on? Oh, you know, she turned evil and she tried to revive you. Oh, okay. Okay. He's just been getting slapped around by a bunch of different people and through these various lives. Like, he's either getting killed by the ones he loved, or just drinking himself into a coma. And even, like, in these certain instances when he has a family and in these various lives that he's led, like, he has a little family, like, it gets taken away from him immediately. It's just like this guy. But Ospen, I felt so betrayed after chapter 2, and I was just, oh man, I flipped out on camera. It's for anyone who hasn't seen, like, I was. But at the same time, like, it's just being torn in two. Like, I want to trust Ospen so bad, but we just, I don't know. I think if and when he comes back, hopefully he'll start to be a little more transparent with everyone to, like, gain some trust back, or, you know, give some big key piece of information that we don't have from Jin. And
I mean, we do have one question left from Jin, and I think, like, it's going to be interesting too, because Ruby and when I was rewatching before the stream, just to, you know, kind of cross my T's, dot my I's, I kept noticing how kind of overt it was with respect to the camera angles and stuff, that Ruby still very much has that relic of knowledge. It isn't near Oscar in any way, shape, or form. Like, they're even sitting on the opposite sides of the room, and it's man. Yeah,
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's just funny how, like, where do we go? Because Ospen just GG no read from the entire series, and, like, he's nowhere to be found. Like, he cannot. He's just. I mean, I hope he comes back, because obviously, well, my big thing with respect to now that we are at Argus, and Watts said it best in chapter 4, Ospen is the only person who can get through to Ironwood. And, like, we kind of need the guy, but he's AFK. Like, I don't know if he's just, like, depressed and, like, sitting sulking in the corner of Oscar's mind. Just,
I think he's definitely depressed. Like, he's just now, like, okay, like, everyone hates me. I'm just gonna, like, let my depression swallow me in this little mind of a young boy, you know? It's... I don't know.
It's such a weird situation. Anytime you try and verbalize, like, oh yeah, Ospen inside of this boy, it's just like, okay, all right, well, yep.
Yeah, it's the boy who definitely needs to see a dentist after Crow just decked him. Like,
That poor, speaking of feeling bad for people, like Oscar, I mean, the kid is like, I almost was crying when he was just like, I want this to end. Oh my God. Like, what's happening inside my mind? It's just when he's sitting there under that tree, like not only does he have Ospen like playing around in his mind, but he also just witnessed what everyone else witnessed. And this poor kid is just like, ah, man.
And then everyone turns against him because of the guy in his head. He's like,
oh man, yeah, I certainly would not know how to handle that situation if I were Oscar. Like,
yeah, I'd be a little jealous of Ozpin's ability to just GG no read on that situation.
He's just like AFK, rage quitting from the situation. Like, okay, and I'm hoping like we do get more Ospen, and at least, you know, absolutely, I would love it if he were more transparent when he came back, but at the very least would be able to, you know, maybe come back with something a little more profound than just like, hi guys, and sheepishly like, I'm back, and like, you know, I'll tell you the truth now. Maybe something like, okay, I've been thinking, and this is what we should do. You know, like, give some direction to the crew, take back a little bit of the control without taking away the respect.
Yeah.
So like that kind of give and take is, but Ospen has displayed that he's not really good at give and take. He's, but maybe this is the lesson he's needed, like this big awakening of Jin.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I just the chat's been a little active while you're
oh no, absolutely, yeah, no, shut me up whenever you need to. Yeah, I ramble on way too much.
Oh no, it's fine. Usually I feel like it's the opposite. I ramble on too much, and then it's like, oh, I had this guest on for like one episode and they didn't talk. So someone's Maria said we need a meme for that. Oh, and also Vicent is saying we need Cinder's backstory. We need more context on her character. I really feel like there's like a mother-daughter situation, like very loose mother-daughter relationship between Salem and Cinder. Like,
oh yeah,
like I think Cinder must have been like a little lost child who was looking to get some power or something, and she just happens to come across the wicked stepmother and who was like, hey, yeah, I'll have you ever
a similar situation with Cinder and Mercury and Emerald.
Yeah. Totally.
Kind of like relationship of kind of paying it back where, oh, you know, Salem gave me this opportunity, I'm going to give these kids the same opportunity.
It's just the pyramid scheme of evil, you know? Like,
the pyramid scheme of evil. That's great. Yeah. It's so true, though. I feel like that's typical with, like, you know, anime and that kind of, I mean, media in general, I guess, where you just have like this pyramid scheme of good or evil, and it's just like that resonates throughout a lot of different shows, but
yeah,
pretty spot on. Yeah, it's like this pyramid scheme.
Yeah. Also, Ethan Hayes, I'm guessing they're one of your viewers. They're asking, what's with the health bars? So this is VYTALCast, like the Vital Festival tournament, and the whole background and layout is to look like the Vital Festival tournament, like health bar and like status stuff from the tournament if you watched back in volume 3. So it's just for aesthetics. They don't do anything. Like, I can't push any buttons to make them go down. So I'm sadly not that high tech. So okay, is there like a meme from your channel saying Apathy did nothing wrong 2018?
Yeah, probably. Our Discord and community gets so memey, I lose track. Because I don't even have, like, the time, unfortunately, to check Discord as much as I would like to, and, like, check comments and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, they're memesters. They're a bunch of memesters. They come up with some pretty gnarly stuff.
I could tell, because now there's, like, hashtag Rambling Kings, and they gonna duel. Thanks, Alphabet Sandwich.
On guard.
We'll fight. We'll meet at RTX or something, and then we'll fight.
Hell yeah, dude. I want to go so bad in 2019.
VYTALCast 2019 panel. Everyone fights me.
Yeah, I'll just bring boxing gloves. That's a new hot thing on YouTube too. Boxing, like.
Oh yeah. Just. I don't think we'll get as many views as that, but that'll be funny.
Man, we could only hope.
Yeah. Oh no! Wait, insult each other. Okay. Wait.
David, you are so nice, man. You're just a really great guy.
Oh, thanks, man. I just have to say your hair is just like so. How do you comb that? Like it looks good. Like I'm just like.
This is no product, no comb. This is me and my hand. That's all that is.
Same. Yeah. Like I just don't know how there's such a big difference in end product.
I don't know, man.
Okay, so Vera is saying, did you see my above comparison between Cinder and Salem? No, but I will scroll up to find it.
Yeah, I have the stream open too, but my chat is actually, let's pop this bad boy out. Cause...
Oh shit! I forgot to send you the link, didn't I?
Oh no, it's fine. I'm on the stream right now.
Oh sweet, okay.
I'm watching this.
I'm like, let me just pull up the link so I can send it to you. So
it's cool, man.
So Verif is saying, I love how much Cinder seems to be learning from Salem. Never underestimate the usefulness of others, and the path to your desire is through me. Both are evident in the new deal with Neo. That is very true. Although I would say Cinder's always kind of shown that. Like, with how she used Torchwick and, like, Mercury and Emerald. Like, she always used them to do little spots of her plot. Like,
oh, yeah. Cinder is a grade A manipulator. Like, she'll do whatever she needs to like, get... I mean, it goes back to that ego, right? She kind of sees herself... It's this very solipsistic view of the world where she's like, kind of everything is to benefit myself. And I guess... It's kind of a similar mindset to, not saying there's anything wrong, it's just like what the character is. I think there's a similar mindset with and why they were butting heads so much, Cinder and Raven. They both kind of have that similar mindset of like, we do what we do for the sake of ourselves and our people and so on and so forth. So,
definitely.
Yeah.
And
they don't mind, they don't care whose throats they have to step on to get to those goals.
I think Ravens might be a little bit more like self-preservation, whereas Cinder is definitely like, I want to be the top of everything.
Cinder's just more of an ecomaniac, for sure. Definitely. Where Raven actually does have, in her own way, like, she's taking care of her tribe and so on and so forth. So.
Yeah. So, let's see. Someone's saying... Sensei from the chat is saying, now you're just complimenting him in quotation marks.
I've been had.
Yeah. Okay. David, can you ask Rick what he thinks of Ozpin? Who's Rick?
Rick is this guy behind me right now. Again, with the memesters, they are my community named this chair Rick Kleiner.
Oh.
And he doesn't speak. He's Neo, okay? He's Neo in this equation.
Okay, yeah.
Speak, and he is I guess I'm the Cinder in this equation because I'm using him as a means to an end because he's my structure. He's structurally integral to the channel.
I'm glad I didn't cut him out for the thumbnail then.
That's true.
That was actually a conscious decision I had to make. I was like, now, do I want just Jake or should I have the chair with him? I'm like, let's have the chair with him. And it's just...
Yeah, man. I mean, actually, in a weird way, that you made the... Believe it or not. Because these memesters, they love them some Rick Kleiner. They can already see it in the chat.
Yeah, TM Romance is like, Rick Kleiner!
TM is like the mom of the community.
Recliner.
She's a mod, but she does a lot. Shout out to TM. You do a lot in the Discord. I'm very thankful. And she's sick right now. Hugs, pats, and many drugs to make you feel better.
Okay. I'm like, drugs? Whoa, hold on.
Over-the-counter substance like
okay. Cold medicine.
Okay, let's not get carried away, TM.
Those were the vending machines at my high school, so it's okay. Okay. Yeah, that's like an actual thing. Kids used to get the cough drops from the vending machine all the time. So,
Damn, I didn't. God, wow.
Yeah,
We didn't have a. I remember we had one vending machine at my school, and the first day we got it, a kid kicked it open, like broke the glass, and just then we didn't have a vending machine after that day.
Yeah, no.
Of a glorious, candy dispensary, and it was gone. It was gone.
Yeah. So you know what's also sweet like candy? Neo. She's just a sweet little bun. Doesn't say a word. Best ice cream girl.
Best ice cream girl.
Yeah. Have I told you about my Neo theory that I had way back in Volume 4?
No, you have not.
Okay. So I'm saying this mostly for your viewers, regular viewers to VYTALCast. I'm sorry you have to hear this for the 20th time. So back in Volume 4 days, or like right before Volume 4 premiered when I first started VYTALCast, I was like, you know what? Here's how I see Neo can still be relevant to the story. And my theory was Neo would be chasing down Team Ranger because she would blame Ruby for Roman's death, because Ruby was the last person she saw Roman with. And somewhere in the fight, Ruby kind of stops Neo and she's like, hey, you shouldn't be blaming me for Roman's death. You should be blaming Cinder, because she's the one that brought all the Grimm, and the Grimm are what killed Roman. So, like, you should go after Cinder, not me. And then Neo goes off after Cinder, not as a hero, but kind of like as a weird gray character. And guess what they did this volume? They had the opposite happen. They had Neo going after Cinder, and then Cinder's like, whoa, don't blame me for Torchwick's death. Blame Ruby. I'm like, gosh dang it, they flipped my theory. Like, they probably heard it.
That theory is very plausible. I totally would have supported that for sure. I was a little surprised when Neo like popped out of the blue. I mean, definitely like, and why I definitely with animes that I watch, especially in my own time, just for my own like pleasure, not reacting or anything.
Yeah.
I try and avoid intros because they have a tendency just to reveal what is going to happen. But with Ruby and all the hype going with Volume 6, everyone was asking what my thoughts were on the intro and stuff now that it was made public, so I made it, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll show you, but I kind of wish I didn't see that in the intro, you know what I mean? I really wish I.
There was some stuff they were a little obvious with, and then some stuff they were more subtle with, like Jin's smoke.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
for sure.
Another thing they were kind of obvious with was Maria with the silver eyes. Like, I'm pretty sure after that intro, everyone guessed it. Like, there was a theory before the intro came out, but the intro almost confirmed it until Chapter 6. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's, good with the bad, because it's a really amazing series that I'm going to watch no matter what. It's not like I spoiled anything for myself, and, like, when you see it actually happen because to my knowledge, Ruby has not done this, but intentionally misleading people in an intro, sometimes animes do. So that would be an interesting turn of events in the future, if, like, the Ruby decided to go, like, oh, in the OP, like, we're going to show this, but this is going to happen.
Oh.
That'd be interesting. But
that would be.
For now, Yeah, that is not far off, though. I totally would see that at Volume 4, for sure.
Yeah. So, Verif in the chat is saying, speaking of Maria, how about that flashback? That's my segue to talk about that part of the episode.
That's a good segue. That's a perfectly valid segue, because that was a really awesome flashback. I loved it. Dude, super cool.
The fight scene was, like, really good choreography. Or should we go backwards a bit and not jump straight into the fight? I don't know.
I mean, hey, whatever the people want, but not too much before the fight itself. I mean, it was a reveal. I think the when she was fighting the Nevermore, I think the emphasis there was just to display her scythe and her, I guess, scythes?
Yeah, dual scythes. Yeah.
Dual scythes that have this awesome, like, gravitational pull effect where they, like, it's so cool. I mean, it's just great all around.
Like, we know there's gravity dust, but, like, gravity dust is usually shown in a black color. So I'm like, I don't know if that's gravity dust or, like, something else. It was really cool.
Yeah, it had this purple glow to it, or maybe purplish pinkish kind of deal, but
I'd say purple, but yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I really liked the fighting, and also, like, I don't know about you, but like right after she kills that Nevermore with her silver eyes, all the people come out. They're gonna fight her. I'm like, really, guys? You just saw her take out.
I would have. There was a big rock right in the background of the scene that they started, like all these randoms, not talk, but like all the randos just started like creeping out of. I would have just stayed firmly behind that rock and not made myself known, not revealed myself. I would have just been like, yeah, I'll be right there. Just a second. Okay. All right. And just hide for like an eternity.
Yeah. I look at that paycheck I got and be like, not worth it. Just
not worth it. You know, I'm going to hand my 2 weeks in and mail me my last check. I don't want anything to do with this crew. It's just like, no way. But I mean, something I found really, really interesting and cool to segue into that fight, and why maybe they were pretty confident, is because Tak's semblance is pretty freaking OP. Like, it's a pretty darn good semblance.
Yeah, pretty much unbreakable aura for 60 seconds.
I mean, damn. I mean, if it weren't the Grim Reaper that she was fighting, I mean, anyone's gonna be dead. So I thought that was really, really cool. And then Tak as a character, like her design, her accent caught me way off guard, but I loved it at the same time. Like, I did not expect that.
I made a really stupid joke and I said, like, finally, the Australian part of the fandom has the representation they deserve. Like, she was pretty cool. Like, it's a shame you're gonna die in this scene, but like, you're pretty cool as a character.
Hey, man. I mean, it was still a cool way to go out.
Yeah.
She had the upper hand, that whole deal, and I appreciate, even if they're not around for a while, I could still love and appreciate characters for like design and all that kind of stuff. But she had a really cool design. My favorite part in that scene, her metal teeth and just like biting the scythe in half just to do that finishing blow.
Oh,
that was really, really neat.
It was really good, and I really loved the soundtrack, like what they did with the music in that scene. They made like the clock ticks part of the music, and I don't know, it just really added to like the stress of like the viewer watching, being like, you got time and it sounds like it's running out. I don't know, like.
No, yeah, totally agree. I that was touch on too was just the constant ticking and talking in the background. I did flashback in retrospect because I actually don't think I connected the dots in the actual reaction, which as everyone's will be live tomorrow. But in retrospect, watching it in retrospect, knowing now that the correlation and like that it's based off the Peter Pan and Crocodile Captain Hook situation, and I just flashed back to my childhood, like sitting on a couch and watching Peter Pan for the first time. It was a nice little ode and nod, and really, really cool. I liked it a lot.
It took me like like I don't know about you, but like right after you hit stop recording on your reaction video after you're done talking about the episode, and then you think of something and you're like, oh no. Like, that was me with the Peter Pan thing. I like hit it and I was like, she might have been based off the crocodile off Peter Pan. I'm like, I shouldn't have said this in a recording.
Every recording session ever. And I'm like, and that happens to me, and then I always am, after I press stop, and then I'm like, should I re-record and just clarify? I'll do it in the comments, and then I forget to do it in the comments, and then I'm like, God.
Well, at least you didn't do what I did with my Chapter 6 reaction, which was mishear Maria saying had instead of have.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
right,
like
I watched it.
And then in post-production you like still miss it, so you don't add like a fix in post-production, and everyone's like, she had. I'm like, hey guys, if you watched VYTALCast, you know I predicted had and that she had her eyes taken out, but I was at least willing to accept I was wrong, like in both cases I misheard saying, oh, she still has her eyes. Okay, that's not my theory, but I'll accept it. To, oh no, I was right. I was wrong what I heard. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, I because I remember watching your reaction. I was gonna bring something up, and then that was the thing I was gonna bring up and talk to you about. But yeah, and then you get the comments like, or at least I sometimes get the comments of like just like the straggling haters like,
Oof.
Thank you to the community. Not talking about you guys,
Yeah.
but the straggling haters of like, it just seems like you need to be right. Why do you need to be right when you correct yourself in the comment? It's like, no, but I'm just telling you.
No,
Whatever.
If anything, corrections made in post-production are be like, hey, just so you know, I'm not an idiot. Like,
pretty much. That's what
yeah.
I usually say. Well,
Yeah.
you know, I am an idiot, but not in this sense.
Yeah, I'm not an idiot to where like after I've done something wrong or said something that was incorrect, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna be like, hey, I was wrong. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Seeing the chat. Vincent is saying talk is Super Mario. Oh, the star. You know the star power from Super Mario.
Oh yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, actually, that's
Yeah.
pretty apt analysis there.
Yeah. And people are saying
Analogy. Sorry.
yeah, and they're critical gamers saying Talk's voice actor is Scottish, and they're saying her accent was a Cockney accent, not Australian. And, you know, yeah, Cockney accents, I don't know. For me, it's hard to tell the difference between Cockney and Australian. And the fact that she's a crocodile or an alligator, either of the two just make you think of Crocodile Hunter, which makes you think Australia. Like...
yeah, no, that's, I mean, but I'm like, not cultured. So I wouldn't have even been able to, like, I think in my reaction I said Cockney, but then when you were like Australian, I was just like, oh, that's right, because I don't know any better.
We're just like, we just don't know enough that if someone else says something different, you're like, you know what, that's right.
Pretty much. I mean, when it comes to other people's cultures and like other people's accents and stuff like that, I mean, like, yeah, people know a lot more than me. I'm as
Yeah.
So.
Stoic the Dragon Eater in the chat is saying, I want Talk to bite me. And is right after Sensei's like, hot. And Ethan's like, ew. It's like...
Guys.
All worst things have been said in the chat for VYTALcast.
No, that's... yeah. I mean, look, the worst things can be said. I mean, look, yeah, I mean... Dude, it's... Look, it's almost 2019. I'm not going to kink shame you as well. You do you, dude.
Yeah, he's like, I'm allowed kinks. And I'd hate to be it, but I'm like low-key same, but also like, no. like part of me is like, I'm curious, but...
I don't want to shame you.
Yeah, no.
No, you are wrong.
Yeah. Also, so Farrah has a question. He says, do you think Talk worked for Salem?
That is... I was watching a little bit of Arnold. That's what he seems to think. I would not be surprised if that were the case, considering, like, it's kind of the situation of, like, who else would send her, right?
Yeah, and she's like, oh, I have my master. And it's like, okay, who is super old and evil that probably wants to fight out the Silver Eyes? Cinder
let's look at the,
yet.
Do mathematics, just pretty much one.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I would love if this were the twist? I would love this if the master, all the way back then, turned out to be Ospen, and he was the one who was after the Silver-Eyed Warrior.
That'd be such a twist. That'd be such a twist.
To not trust the guy now, though. So I don't think that's the case, but now I just can't trust him.
Yeah, it's amazing how fast the fandom could turn on him. Like, volumes 1 through 3 were like, we trust this man with our lives. Volume 6, no!
I was the Dugan who did that too, and so started like 6 months ago was when I first did the Ruby Red trailer, and it was funny because everyone obviously had been caught up to Volume 5 at that point, and everyone was just like, just you wait.
Oh,
like,
man. Just bless your audience for like not spoiling you if you like made it all the way through without getting spoiled by like a YouTube comment, because
I made it all the way through Ruby without getting spoiled about anything.
Yeah, I was a little late to watching Chapter 7, and I think it was like right before I did my recording on Wednesday that someone commented on my video. They're like, thanks to something that happened in Chapter 7, this proves what you said in this video wrong. I'm like, thanks for the spoilers, dude. Real
That's...
awesome for you. I mean,
Yeah.
like I was safe enough, but like there are some people who aren't first members who really do wait till like the week after to watch it for free. So
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. And like those, I feel like those people are the real troopers too, because they could, you know, obviously I don't condone this. We have a rule on my channel, the Discord, where we remove any links to third-party sites, anything like that, illegal downloads, so on and so forth.
Back in Volume 4, I had a big trouble with that, with people sending links like, "Hey," and it's like, dude, I paid for double at the time. I paid for double gold. I'm like, hey, I paid more money than most of y'all to see this show. Like,
yeah. I mean, but that's more, you know, tip of the hat to all the mods from my channel and Discord. Like, they really did. They've been doing a fantastic job, and yeah, I miraculously made it through with no spoilers.
Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy,
Yeah, I have to say, like, the fandom's really good on like sticking out for each other and like trying to like, hey guys, like, especially now that it's not on YouTube, everyone that's from the Rooster Teeth site is like, hey guys, like, here's the Rooster Teeth site. You could watch it and all that, like, for free. And also, like, there's a whole community side of that website where, like, there's forums. You can make blog posts. The Rooster Teeth site's really extensive, and they're going to update the community side of the site very soon. So I'm, like, hyped for that.
Yeah, that'd be really cool, because, I made an account specifically for... Ruby Volume 6, got first, everything. But then I started like personalizing the profile a little bit, so I'm gearing up for that. That'll be really fun.
Yeah. They used to have this really cool system called like the karma system, where like the more you comment or make posts and people like those, you like level up. You don't gain anything, but like it's like, oh, now you could be like a level 9 user because people really like your stuff. It's basically to see like who's dedicated in the community or not, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, it's like Reddit karma does the same.
Yeah,
basically the same thing.
They don't do it anymore, but I'm hoping it's something that comes back when they do this big update, because I don't know,
that'd be really cool.
I don't know why I felt like my interaction on the site once they got rid of that went down, because I didn't have like the reward system in my head like working as much. So
no, yeah, that's understandable too. I mean, but it's all in an effort, I'm sure, to retool, and they're probably going to come up with new features and stuff. So
yeah, I'm really excited. I know some stuff that I can't say, so I'm like trying to like.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm like, I'm going to talk about old stuff I liked. Also, Rebecca Richards said in the chat that you were so triggered after Chapter 2 this volume.
I was.
Yeah.
I was. Yeah, trigger me timbers, man. Like
what happened?
I just honestly, I felt so betrayed. I loved Ospen, and even though I was getting pushback in Volume 5, when the like it started to seep through the cracks a little bit, how he operated, and I got a little pushback from the community, and but I was like sticking firm. I was like, I still trust the guy. I love him, and I'm putting my stamp of approval on the guy. And then, of course, it just came to this very emotional moment where there were many things said that I regret, but they happened, so they're on the internet forever.
That's how it works.
I was fairly triggered. Yes, Rebecca, you are. Yeah, that's an act.
Don't worry. There are some people, who kept having theories on how Pyrrha could still be alive after being murdered by Cinder.
I am still in support of those theories because I am so sad. She's.
For me, I think after Volume 5, I pretty much dropped it, because it's like, well, if they were gonna do this, they would have done it by now. Theory. So,
who knows, man? You never know.
You're right. So I just want to see like what the chat's saying. Dominic in the chat is saying, "Hi Portal, how you doing? Do you think we will see Adam in tomorrow's chapter?" You know, it's been a little overdue since we've seen Adam, other than like as creepy PTSD flashbacks.
Yeah, and then of course in the first chapter where he he just
Took
like
out the
killed
White
everyone
Fang.
for no reason.
Yeah. Order
But
Adam
also,
66.
to talk about that scene, like just a little like. Who was the idiot who was just like, yeah, run into that Blake chick, did ya? He's like egging Adam on. I'm like, dude, you are going to die. Do you think you're hot like stuff? Do you think you're the cool man on campus? Like, you're gonna die. Adam isn't one to play with.
Yeah, do you know his reputation and murder?
Remember how he became the high leader? He murdered someone.
like he didn't even hide it. It was like out in front of everyone. Like,
that's pretty much his go-to move. It's like he murders people.
Yeah.
But
and then like Hazel's like, no one had to die, and he's like, yeah, well, I felt like it. Okay.
Hazel's like, okay. He just really wanted to kill Ospen. Is the only person he wants to kill. My God. But yeah, yeah, I would be very to go back to Dominic, I believe is his name, right? Dominic.
Yeah, Dominic.
Yeah, I would love to see a little bit more Adam. I would also love to see Gira and how he's reshaping the White Fang. Because I don't know, I feel like the White Fang can be a real force of nature if given the right leadership and setting and stuff like that. But obviously, Adam is not the one, and he's, I feel like, definitely going to go rogue from this point on. But in that same vein, I would love to see kind of where the White Fang goes and where Adam goes. In this, hopefully in this volume, we get a little bit. But
yeah, I think the White Fang needs to go through some rebranding, maybe a new logo, a different name, you know, like, because I think when most people hear White Fang, they're gonna think about the terrorist attacks on the Schnee Dust Company trains. You know, they're like,
Very true.
Yeah. So
we are now the Black Fang. Oh, okay, all right.
No, black fur. No,
Black fur. Yeah,
like yours chest hair or something. Like, I don't know.
The symbol is just Gira shirtless. Like, that's just.
Okay. Man. Let's see. There's someone that said. Okay. What did Hunt us do? Stark, stop it. Get some help. Oh. I think Stark Raven is bringing up like dead theories, like
bring up dead theories,
like Crow being Ruby's dad, and like that.
Yeah. I made the mistake. I didn't even know that was a theory, and I brought it up haphazardly so in a reaction, and I got grilled in the comment section.
Yeah, I came up with a theory like back before Volume 3 that was like so wrong on so many other levels, mainly because I didn't know Team Stark's last names, and I was like, oops, because part of me was like, oh yeah, Raven is like Yang's mom, but like, what if Crow is both Ruby and Yang's dad? And then everyone's like, that's so gross, Raven and Crow are twins. I'm like, wait, what?
Lannister situation?
Yeah, no, this was like before Volume 3, and I was like, but how do we know their last names? Like, I didn't know the last names. And, Crow, Raven, both bird names, first names. I'm like, I'm an idiot sandwich. Like, just me trying to like think like, here's a theory that's so clever no one's thought of, but I didn't really put a lot of thought into it, and it's like, oh yeah, delete Tumblr post, right? Go away. Yeah, move on. Ethan is saying, Jake, your phrasing is so bad as always.
Dude, I don't know what it is, but and it's not intentional. I think I end up recording either a lot at once, or I end up recording at a time after my brain's been fried from work or something, and I say things that aren't appropriate, but I don't realize
like they have double meaning, like
double entendres for sure.
Yeah, like you meant it the clean, innocent way,
clean, innocent version.
You can't blame anyone if they thought something totally off the trail.
No, I've made it a stance. I'm like, call me out on it if I don't catch myself doing it, call me out on it. But I usually call myself out on it, and then usually put in an edit or something too in the video itself, where I'm just like, I take away the source material, and then I look at the camera like what did I just say? Like, excuse me. But yeah, I mean, I got in trouble a lot with it since the Oscar and Ospen situation started happening, because I kept saying, I mean, we can all assume what I kept saying. But yeah. Yeah, Zuel's got it. Yep, Zuel's got it. What I usually
Ospen is
fall victim to.
Yeah. You said it earlier too, and I was like, I see what you're doing, but
FBI, NSA, whoever's listening, and stop. It's fine, dude. I'm not. Come on.
Yeah. Speaking of, I don't know why this is making me think of the Rose Garden ship. Like I had a co-host named Sunny who shipped very hard Ruby and Oscar, and I'm not much of a. I don't really ship Ruby with anyone.
Yeah.
And this last chapter gave me a bit of a scare that they might have tried to do something with Ruby and romance for like a hot second. I was like, wait, no.
Let's wait a year. We have to wait. just give me like a year or something on that. But yeah. I again, talking about the comments, like yeah. I got called out a little bit for that, because I said I believe it was season 4 when Ruby has that heart-to-heart with Oscar, talking about Penny and opening up to him a little bit. Yeah. I was like, that was a really cute moment, and then I think I said jokingly like I shipped them, but in like a cute like kid like friendship kind of way. Not like, I
mean, they're within what I consider appropriate age range, but
that's what I meant, right? Yeah, exactly. Like a nice kid, like like little relationship.
I mean, a lot of the people I knew started dating when they were 14, so I'm like, Oscar's 14, she's like 16, if that. Like, yeah. She's definitely not 17. She's younger than that. So it's like, they're okay. We're not shipping Oscar with like Blake or Yang, who are like 18 adults, you know.
Oscar with Glinda, come on.
Oh no, no. Not that old lady, come on.
Hey, dude, come on.
Yeah.
What, old ladies don't have needs, David?
Not from him. Like, gosh.
Not from Oscar. Fine.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
No, I thought they gave us a bit of a Lancaster scare for like a second, because like, you know, they Jean and Ruby hugged, and that was like one of the original ships from Ruby.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, are they gonna do the one thing that I thought they wouldn't do? Because like back in Volume 1, I was a naysayer on Lancaster. I'm like, it'll never happen. And but I think that was just more Jean, like, from like what happened with Pyrrha, having the fear of like what happened with Pyrrha happened to like his other friends. So for a moment I had a romance scare, and then I'm like, David, you idiot, not everything's about romance. And
yeah, as far as like that, all that stuff, you know, for me it's like I don't really shipping, like I don't even care really. It's just whatever this happens in the story I'll go with, because I like Ruby. I don't even get bothered that much about it. But I sometimes, like, in reactions, I'll, like, poke fun, and I'll be like, this ship, yeah.
Oh, man.
Just as, like, for fun. But
the Volume 6 premiere, I probably poked fun a little too much, and people were like, oh, you shippers. I'm like, yeah, most of those ships were mentioned as a joke. Like, but, yeah, I agree with you. Like, whatever happens, happens. And, like, I'm like, okay, cool. If that's what they want to do, cool. But
like, I'm not going to fight it. Like, you know, it seems that... It seems like they're very clearly trying to get Bumblebee kind of going in a direction.
Yeah, this volume, for sure.
Yeah, you know, it's whatever. Whatever they choose to do, I'm down with it, man.
I have to say, like, one of the most stressful questions in the fandom I've ever heard is Black Sun or Bumblebee? And I'm like, dude, no, like, someone asked that at the panel. Like, I said this to, like, my other panelists, like, before it started. I'm like, I hope no one in the audience asks Black Sun or Bumblebee. And then someone did, and I'm like, okay. But I have, like, the really stupid answer where I'm like, I like both ships. Like, but I think one is more endgame than the other, but no one likes that answer. Oh, okay, TM Romance likes that answer. They said, why not both? So,
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's like kind of the cop out cheesy answer, but I'm with you in that respect. I'm like, why did they have to end up with each other? Like, or what am I even saying anymore? Like, am I drunk?
I was like, that's kind of what a ship
why do
is.
either have to happen? Like, who knows if we get a new character in volume 10? You know what I mean? So I just feel like wherever the story goes is where I follow, and I don't even concern myself really with like shipping culture too much. But not that there's anything wrong with it. Like, do you if you
I think back in volume 2, that's when I really got into shipping culture, and I'm like, I got in too deep. Like,
I mean, I'm here for it and I love it, but I guess I don't declarations of I want this to happen.
Yeah, I am definitely more the soft core shippers where I'm not gonna like quit a show if a ship that I don't want happens, or or like a ship I do want never happens. I'm like, hey guys, let's not harass the creators over what we want in our headcanons. Like,
I'm with you there. Yeah.
TM romance, David, regret I got in too deep. Yeah.
TM, stop.
That was me. Yeah, gosh. Michael Hall says, I don't like any ship with Jean now that Pura is gone. Yeah, if Jean ever moves on, it'll be too soon.
I'm with you 100%. I'm like, I love that little I always and this is another like reoccurring thing. I was kidding, by the way, TM, you don't need to stop. I felt like I was, in retrospect, I'm like, that was mean. Why did I say that? I've, throughout all my reactions, like, people have known that I relate to Jean because he reminds me so much of my younger self. And even in that scene, look, a little bit about Jake, I'm partial to redheads. So in that sense, when Pyrrha, like, first showed up, I'm like, yes, that needs to happen.
Yeah.
And then obviously everything was taken from me.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah. I know how that feels, except for I took the long road where I had to wait for each volume to come out. And
I've always been very open about like how lucky I am. Like, neurotically stumble through the series, because even when I finished 5, I went right into 6. So like there's like been no waiting whatsoever.
You got off really lucky, because for me, like, I watched it when it first came out, and I didn't really get into it till like volume 2 premiered, and that's when like everything, like, I think Arcos was like the really big ship for me, and I agree with you. Like, Jean very much reminded me in high school. Although when Ruby premiered, I was still in high school, so like there was a bunch of like relating to her. I mean, relating to him and relating to Ruby Rose on like the going to a new school, because my senior year I went to a new school, and so it was kind of like, oh yeah, I relate to their 2 experiences, and then redheads, ooh, yeah, but Arcos, just such a tease.
That's all that needs to be said.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, dude. Yeah, we don't want to get the sad boys going in chat just now. Like, we can talk about something else. We can talk about a new relationship if you want.
Yeah. Let's see. Where was Varef's comment where he said, "I ship Saffron with Terra"? I'm like, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. That's a good, nice canon ship.
That was my attempt to segue into that conversation, but I'm glad.
I saw. Yeah. Oh man, I actually kind of liked how they did it. Like, it wasn't. Perfectly. It was really normal, which I love, because that sort of relationship should be considered normal.
That's how you do that in media, people.
Yeah.
People who make shows. You don't have a token gay character. You don't have all these different things. Like, they're real people. They're human beings. They're just there. Like, that's all it was. And that's what, you're absolutely spot on. I love the subtlety of it. It was perfect. It was just what it needed to be.
Yeah, and like I love Ilya, but like I think the one thing some people didn't like about Ilya was like her sexuality was used as like a plot device to show like motivation and like stuff like that, I guess.
Yeah.
There were some people that had some issue with, like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying, but like there's some people.
No, I understand what you're talking about, and
Yeah.
I can totally see from that perspective how people would like misconstrue it. But even in that sense, it's like the people who would have a problem with it are focusing on the fact that it's
there
like,
regardless.
They were girls, as opposed to like love and romance and stuff and motivations for every other character. There are a lot of other that's the only motivation for people in Ruby. So it's it's just kind of cherry picking,
like a double standard.
Exactly. Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah,
At the end of the day, it's like, why can't people just be people and like be represented in a show? It's like it's good. It's a good thing.
Yeah, there's a guy jumping around people's YouTube comments. I don't know if you follow Cal or Kaido Dan.
I retweeted that with a comment. How utterly astonished I was that was a thing.
Yeah, I'm like, you're still in this fandom? Like, yeah.
I think my exact tweet was like, I know I shouldn't be, but I'm genuinely astonished that someone would think to put this on a video. The internet sucks sometimes. Ugh. I think was like verbatim what I said. And
And I'm just like, dude, like, piss off. Like, I've been dealing with a lot of stuff lately. Like, so, two of my best friends who will be on VYTALCast at the end of December, they're a lesbian couple. And, like, one of them, because they still sometimes live with their parents, have to deal a lot with, like, their parents don't approve of the relationship or their sexuality. So, like, through them, I've been kind of, like, experiencing quite a bit of that lately. Especially since, like, tomorrow we're planning her girlfriend a surprise birthday party at her parents' house. And one of her parents' rules is you're not allowed to do gay stuff in the house. Like, you're not supposed to hold hands, not supposed to hug, not any of that. But if you're straight, it's totally fine. I'm like, hold on. You either gotta ban all
you're
of that.
You're not allowed to do gay stuff. Like, wait, like, is that a parent, like, it's because they sound like a 14-year-old internet commenter. Are they like an adult? Are they a human being?
They're human beings, debatable, but they are an adult. I like.
Oh my god, that's
like,
terrible.
I've seen how her dad tries to explain to other family members about the relationship.
Oh god.
He's like, oh yeah, it's friend's friend, not friend's girlfriend. I'm like, really? And like, so I've been having a lot of frustration on like holding back chewing out her parents because like I can't do that because you know they're like, who are you? I'm like, I'm the friend, but like you know, like so
I can just see you kicking down the door. I'm the guy.
I'm the guy friend, but yeah, like so like saying that comment just like really pissed me off as well because I'm like, man, I'm so sick of seeing, like, my friends go through this, and I'm so sick of, like, people just being so disrespectful to others for just who they are. I'm like, isn't it, like, the great things about being alive is being different and, like, being yourself and unique? And, like, why should we... I don't know. Sorry.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah.
Sorry, I jumped on a soapbox there. I'm like, I should...
It's all right. I mean, this is your podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Okay, I still don't know how to pronounce that tag. I just say sensei.
I don't either. Zuel. I think it's Zuel, right, bud? I'm pretty sure, right? Right, pal?
Zuel?
He's been in the comments for a really long time.
Yeah, he's like, stop right there, criminal scum. I'm the friend.
What an entrance.
Somebody.
Zuel. Yeah, so I was getting it right.
Oh,
right,
good job. Good job, Jake. Yeah.
I know my community. I know how to pronounce names. Just kidding. I have no idea.
Yeah. Oh, and thank you, Brandon Dodge, for like saying I could jump on that soapbox all I want. I just don't want this to be like the soapbox,
right? Yeah.
The soapbox podcast, you know. So.
I totally understand.
Yeah.
It's why. Yes. No, sir. Why are we talking about Zwei?
Yeah. Where is Zwei? What are they up to? Actually, sorry, I keep thinking of my RTX panel today for some reason.
Hey, man.
There was something I said on that panel that might lead to what Zwei is up to right now. So we were asked, what was our favorite crack ship? and I did not word correctly how I led up to my answer. So there's a guy that used to be on the animation team for Ruby named Brian Arndt, and when Volume 4 had its finale, I guess he was taking some scene from some show where someone's like, hey, you want this? And then like the other person's like, yeah, I want this. And then like, I don't know, it's like a romantic thing. So like when Nora looked at Ren on the helicopter there, she's like, hey, you want this? He's like, yeah, I want this. And then she like puts her head on him, and then he took a weird twist to it, and he took Zwei asking Tai, do you want this? And so,
oh no, the imagery.
Yeah, so
Hey.
I did not word my answer correctly. When I tried to say I shipped this platonically, but people took it and ran with it somewhere else. And it eventually came like a solid 2 minutes of David trying to defend what he was trying to say. You're the one who's just hearing it wrong. Like, yeah.
Oh God! Oh my Lord!
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing that kind of debauchery live. Then.
Yeah. Oh man, it was crazy.
Oh my Lord!
Yeah. Michael Hall is saying Valhalla is the best crack ship. Nora X Oscar. What? Valhalla.
God.
Never heard this. Dragon's Dogma is canon. Oh no. No, Brandon Dodge. No. Not canon. No. I'm just saying Tai and Zwei are like out being platonic buddies. I can't say buddies without platonic.
Yeah, Zwei's his little buddy.
Yeah.
Platonically.
Platonically. Emphasis on platonically. Yeah, like I don't know, like Tai is like, oh man, we have no neighbors. Guess I'm just gonna do yard work and work on the house, maybe walk the dog. Like, I don't know what's be up to.
I can't. No, stop.
No.
The imagery.
Okay.
Oh God, it keeps coming back.
I'm sorry.
Hey, so Maria, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Maria. Yeah. It's interesting to hear that. Like, I guess we learned some world history with her. Like, she
A
was
little bit, yeah.
She was a famous huntress, which was cool.
And I really liked the aspect that Crow knew who she was and based his weapon off of hers.
You know, I like the whole 30 seconds before he said, I based my weapon off of yours. I'm like, huh, you know, she uses sides and Crow used a side, so like I wonder if Crow based his weapon off of hers. And then he's like, I based my weapon off of you. I'm like, okay.
Bada boom.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's and then I do like that lineage of like, you know, so Crow bases it off Maria, who bases it off, you know, Ruby bases it off Crow, so in in a weird way they've always been connected, and I like how it's kind of coming full circle where now Maria presumably, unless she just says nah,
No.
I don't really want to train you.
Dude, I hope she starts training Ruby and be like Yoda. Have like Ruby
Yeah,
running
that's
through
exactly
the
what I
forest.
said in my reaction. The
Mario on
Yoda
deck.
to her, I guess it would be Luke.
Yeah.
But it's God, it's gonna be really, really nice to see if we get. I really hope we get the exposition to, like, we get the actual training, not like a training montage like a Rocky style, but
Yeah.
like just some scenes where she's kind of like similar to when they were being overrun by the apathy, where Maria is like telling her like a
What
little
to do.
trick or hint of like, think of your friends and people you care about and you're connected with and stuff. That
Yeah.
kind of like little instances of training I would love to see. I would love to. I don't want just an off-screen like Ruby knows how to use Silver Eyes, which of course the Ruby was. They're better at doing things than writing stories than me. They know what they're doing, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see like not just like Silver Eye training, but since she was a scythe user and a very famous one at that, like she could teach Ruby something that Crow hasn't,
Ooh, yeah.
So
That's a good point.
like one idea I have is like, hey, here's a modification you can make to Crescent Rose, like with the purple thing, with having it being able to fly back to her and all that. Like that'd be very useful for Ruby to have.
Oh, Heck, yeah, because
Like-
I mean, Ruby, for as cool as she is, she hasn't had much luck in the whole fighting department.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to get some new skills in that respect, and sooner the better. I'd love. But I mean, I guess time is of the essence with respect to the relic of knowledge. Getting that to Alice, I guess that comes first no matter what. But definitely like sooner rather than later. I'd love to see. That'd be so cool. Modifications to Crescent Rose. Oh my god.
Ruby like all fangirling over it. She's like, "Oh my gosh, never thought of this. Like, wow, this is revolutionary even for our days. And you did this like how long ago? Like,
that's another good point. Yeah, she's like Maria's man.
Yeah, gosh, it's. I love how they did Maria. Like, just her whole weapons and everything. She had so much flexibility with them, like being able to force pull. Sorry with the Star Wars references, but like being able to force them and then like put them together. Like, I don't know, she had a lot of options, whereas like Ruby has like scythe and sniper rifle. Like, so it'd be cool to see like some more options come up and see if like the rest of the team implements that as well. I don't know. Like Jean learns to like boomerang his sword. I don't know. Get some long range attacks for Jean.
Jean does need something. Like the guy needs something. He just has I like how it's inspired by Pyrrha, but you need something else, Jean. Come on. I mean,
at
I
least
think
a
eventually
mid-range attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Daddy Yang is saying, "Hey, Jake and David, talk. That's right. Great reactions from you guys. Keep that up." Thank you. We will keep it up.
I'll do what I can, Daddy Yang. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Okay, Romance is saying, Ren already has that boomerang thing covered. Okay, but like, imagine this. Everyone has a boomerang. Boom.
That's right. Everyone has like similar skill sets. I mean, because Ren, I feel like, is probably still a little more low-key about it, but he's probably the most polished of all the kids fighting-wise, right? I think he has the most ability. Well,
yeah,
I wouldn't say that. Maybe he's the most versatility, would be a better way to phrase it.
Yeah.
I think Yang probably has, like, the best fighting ability.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, if not him, Yang. So, I mean, if Pyrrha was still alive, I think it'd be hands down Pyrrha, but, yeah. Varev's like, it's also a boomerang. Sweet. Yeah. Okay, wait. TM Romance is saying needs more Australian representation. Oh, yeah, taking it back to Australia. Needing representation. Let's all give them boomerangs.
TM. You're too clever for your own good, I tell you.
Yeah, really great. Okay, I'm not gonna read that comment I just saw. I'm just gonna ignore something I saw in the chat. I'm not gonna dig into that. Oh, great! Now the chat is like all like, what's that you say? I'm like, nope, I don't want to touch that. So, let's talk about Argus, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. I totally didn't expect Argus to be a name of a city. I thought it was just gonna be the name of the train, you know.
Yeah, that's where I was definitely surprised, because I knew Argus was, because that's why in the beginning I thought it was the name before I even thought it was the train, the Argus Limited. I thought the destination they were going to was Argus, so I psyched myself out and I was like, oh no, it's the train. They must be going to Atlas with the Argus Limited. But yeah, I'm with you, where I was like so surprised not only to find, Argus be the city in that respect where they were originally traveling, but also like how flourishing it was, how it being the largest non-capital city in all of Remnant, or one of, I guess. Yeah. It was really interesting.
It was the largest.
So. Oh, they did? Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, because I mean, you definitely for a lot of this volume got the vibe of it being, very desolate, and there wasn't a lot up there. Yeah. And it would be like a long, arduous trek to get to wherever they were going. But then it's like, oh, the the sun's out and we're near the ocean and they're like everywhere happy families, and it's just it was really interesting.
It was really great, and like I'm glad it was Arceus and not Atlas, because I'm like, man, Atlas is tiny compared to what I thought it would have been. But then
I'm sure our minds are gonna be blown. Oh man, I can't wait till we get to Atlas. I'm very interested, really interested to see Ironwood again, and like where his thoughts are on everything, because it sounds crazy, but for me right now, he's like the only person I trust implicitly. Ironwood is just so no nonsense. Like his methods, sure. Can't agree with him in some cases. Yeah. But he's the only person I feel like that I could be like, all right, Ironwood, you know what to do in this situation. Like, because, okay, take this for example. Yeah. We have Lionheart, who was just an absolute, you know, he just pushover. Yeah. Let Salem walk all over him. Like, you're not going to do that or coerce Ironwood. And who knows who else Salem has her, you know, who else is a Salem meat puppet all around the world of Remnant. But, like, not going to do that to Ironwood. He has 2 seats on the council, which I think is a low-key thing that's really important. Like, I cannot wait to see what we get with Ironwood. But again, the only person who can get to him is the GG No Reman, who is nowhere to be found.
Yeah. Let's see. TM, imagine when you actually want to do research. Wait, what is TM going out to do? Oh, never mind. That's to the thing I did not want to dig into. But Ironwood, Ironwood. I think I'm gonna go a little different from you. I think Ironwood is more manipulative in a different sense. I don't think he's I think he's not a pushover, but I do think he's a little paranoid. And if like, I think if he has his attention brought to like the wrong thing, and he like to basically, I think they can manipulate him by making him think he's doing something that will be good when it actually helps the other team. That's the only way I could see it, is him unintentionally helping out the other team through his paranoia. But I don't know how much that would happen. And it's, speaking of like Atlas generals or military people we haven't seen for a while, I think Winter has a good chance of showing up next chapter.
I think, I mean, because I mean, if anyone is going to, I don't know, did you see the promo, the little like 1-minute clip?
No, I actually avoid those.
I actually stumbled upon it. But and it doesn't reveal anything we were just talking about. But I think where they are currently, I think that's a good point. It'd be interesting to find her there. But I mean, I would say so. I would love to see Winter again. I mean, anyone but Jacques from the Schnee family would be okay to see again. I'm just like.
Maybe not Whitley, but like I agree.
I forgot about Whitley too. Like, no, a lot of people were grilling me when I was reacting to Whitley and be like, "Well, if you watch this theory video, it goes into how he's not as bad of a person." And I'm like, dude, I'll see it I'll believe it when I see it, because little Whitley, I'm not on board with.
Yeah, I saw someone try to convince me that Whitley is perfectly good and like a nice brother. I'm like. Nice.
I can't get on board with that. Like, he had that creepy close-up shot of him being like,
all snarky.
You shouldn't disappoint father. And I'm like, dude, get away from my camera, please.
Yeah, and also like how he's like, I think semblances are barbaric. You know, it's like, okay, you're just jealous that she can do it. Yeah.
Because you probably have a lame one, dude.
yeah, it's called being snarky. But also like Argus has like a strong Atlas military presence, which I think it also said in Volume 4 that Winter is like off taking care of like foreign affairs. And
good catch. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Yeah, I mean, I vaguely remember it, and it might be from the same episode that mentions that Ironwood has 2 chairs on the council. I think this is.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, probably. Oh yeah. When Ironwood is talking to Jacques, right, in his study. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he probably mentions the fact that Winter is out somewhere. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I think she'd probably be there. I mean, Jacques and I mean not Jacques, but Ironwood is definitely back at Atlas. So
Oh yeah, he's on lockdown mode right now. I totally agree with the assessment, and yeah, like I totally agree in that respect too. I think he can be manipulated by the enemy indirectly. Like I just meant in that respect. I think no one is going to coerce him or like threaten him into doing something. But you're right in this. Yeah. I think you're totally right in the sense that he is so single-minded. It seems that if they kind of like give it like a little red herring or like throw something out to the wind and just see if he follows the trail, they would leave it whatever, the vault vulnerable or whatever. So
yeah, and I think Winter, and maybe Crow, but definitely more Winter, is probably going to be like one of the only people to convince him to like let the group into Atlas. Be like, hey, like my sister's here, the rest of the crew, you trust me, like I could bring them into Atlas because they are having like a closed border situation.
Right.
And it's like,
yeah, I think if not Ospin, it would have to be. I would even say not. I don't even think he would let Crow convince him in that respect.
Yeah.
I think he would probably, especially how like much of a straight Ironwood is too. He would probably be like, I smell the alcohol from here, Crow.
Yeah.
But he would probably definitely listen to Winter because Winter's like, no pun intended, the perfect soldier.
Yeah, and his right hand woman. Yeah. So, but also I don't think he would trust Ozpin because he's in the body of Oscar.
That's a good point. I mean, but the thing I think about that, like Ironwood has to know about the Austin stuff, right? How he leaves different lives. Like
I think he does, but like from what I remember of Volume 3, he did seem skeptical of some of the magic stuff and the maiden stuff. Like he was very cautiously like, "We're sure about this," like I don't know. He seemed newer.
I guess, but I mean, he's still. I think those were philosophical disputes, though. I think when push comes to shove and he realizes that Osman has the relic, like that's the big tell where he'd be like, all right, come in. Like, because it isn't even, you're not even thinking about necessarily the conversation of like what to do, but we're just, I think all you need is Osman to be like, hey, I'm here. Here's the relic. Let me into Atlas. Then we can figure out what to do. Because I don't think it benefits Ironwood. I mean, in some respects, closing off the Atlas borders to any and everyone, prepare for the worst. But it doesn't help anyone if he closes the border off to the relic and has it out in the world. Like, but I mean, if the best bet would definitely be Winter. I mean, because she is, the prim and proper,
and
perfect military woman.
Verif in the chat is saying, in Volume 4, Ironwood said, if Oz had only listened to me. So I think he might actually blame Oz for what happened at Beacon. So
I wouldn't doubt... I definitely wouldn't doubt seeing... being... What is wrong? I definitely wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I just feel like the thing I think about is I think Ironwood was... I think a really subtle thing that I just reminded myself about. He was like, I think Ironwood at least knows when he's messing up. Like he's willing to admit, like in that essence, in that same vein, when Penny was destroyed, killed, and he immediately got on the intercom and it was like, Oz, wait, I can explain. Like he's at least apologetic, and like he's willing to understand. Like, okay, this looks bad. So I would be willing to agree with you, Verif. But I think he can understand where, like, he's, his faults lie, too. He wouldn't put the blame all on Ospin. If my roundabout way...
Like, he's a very rational guy on, like,
sure,
what's wrong and all that. I also saw Michael Hall say, I think Ironwood is slowly losing it because he probably is thinking if Beacon can fall with part of his army there, then why couldn't Atlas? So
yeah, I don't know he's losing it per se. I think he's just being overly cautious and a little bit paranoid. But I don't know if he's like losing his brains. Like he's just like sitting in a corner, like crying and like, oh my god, we're all gonna die. But yeah, I definitely think he's. I mean, he's not being as rational as he usually is.
Yeah, some people in the chat are not putting as much faith in Ironwood because Naso is saying, I want. Oh no, he's saying I want Ironwood to go full mad paranoid Stalin dictator wise, which I'm like, okay then, that took.
Damn, dude. I mean, I don't know about that, but I don't. But where I am and why I said he is one of the only people I can trust is because I don't think he would ever go down that route. I think the only way Ironwood could be bad for our crew and he could pose an issue is if he does what you mentioned and is
unintentionally
like, takes the bait, unintentionally is manipulated down a certain path. But other than that, like, I think he's probably weirdly of the people in authority, like, he has the best interests of the people in mind. I mean, Lionheart was so manipulated. He was just doing everything to save his own skin, and we don't know exactly where Salem is with the other leaders and people in authority. We don't know if she has ties with any of them. So I do trust Ironwood in that respect. Definitely his methods, not too keen on in certain instances, but
because like everyone was saying, like Ironwood wouldn't tell about Penny's real identity, and then like Stark raving saying Ironwood is losing what heart he had, which, oof. Wait, didn't he have a flask with him in Volume 4? Like
Ironwood?
Yeah, I think I remember him. I'm looking this up just
Possibly.
In case I'm wrong.
I think that doesn't sound far fetched. I think that's totally like what in that scene when he's talking to Jacques.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, oops! I did not mean to click on the shopping tab. Let's see.
I would agree with you, Maria, in the sense like Ironwood didn't tell about Penny's real identity. Just like Ospen had his reasons. I mean, it's just military espionage. I mean, he was using Penny to infiltrate Beacon, and yeah, is that kind of weird and slimy? But like, that's real. Like people do that in the real world. They're spies, you know. I mean, it's just like military strategy, and I think I don't. Yeah, is it? I mean, is it super wholesome and like super transparent?
Ethical.
No, but it's like realistic. I get it.
Yeah. And Rebecca Richer is saying, I like the idea that Maria set up for her generation having failed, and Ruby's generation might be able to do better. Yeah, I mean, that could kind of go a little bit with what Ironwood has and hasn't done yet with security, I guess, because he and Crow are part of the older generation, and even like Osbin's like, yeah, humanity has made a lot of mistakes, but Ruby and them still seem helpful. What?
Yeah, I was good. I was just gonna agree and kind of reiterate what Rebecca was saying. Like I like, and I think that's her exact quote is what she said. Like, or I think maybe when Ruby, she was like kind of, hey, you don't want to listen to me, I'm an old bag of bones kind of deal, and Ruby was like pumping her up a little bit, but like, no, you could teach me, and then and then my generation can step in. So
yeah, I mean, part of like Rowan is like seeing like past mistakes and like seeing how you could prevent them from happening again, or like learning how to make things right. So it's all generation thing. I don't know how else to build up from that because it's kind of self-explanatory, but anyway, do you have any other things you want to discuss before we end the show?
I think we covered everything, man.
Yeah,
we're pretty thorough.
Yeah, fist bump. Yeah, boom. There we go.
My disgusting knuckles right here, just chapped from the cold air. Oh my god, I need to moisturize.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I have eczema on my hand, so I know how that feels. Let's see. Wait, did he have who's Dadpin? Okay, Stoic the Dragon Eater saying he has an idea that Maria might be Dadpin's daughter, which I think is the Ozpin that had kids. The one with glasses.
Oh, yeah.
In the flashback is getting more light. You know, I'm gonna have to rewatch chapter 3 and like pay attention to that family in the background, because he may or may not be onto something. Yeah. TM romance. they're bonding over us both having eczema on our hands, apparently. So anyway, chat, I just want to thank you guys, and I really want to thank you, Jake, for coming on to VYTALCast, and I do want you on again sometime. So
absolutely, thank you for having me, David. Can't. We're ending the stream, right? Because I lost the ability to speak English. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Chat. You're awesome as always. Yeah. I know we got a lot of the community in here, but thank you, David, for having us. Appreciate it,
and I want to thank Michael Hall for subscribing just now. So I saw that. So
yes.
All right, guys, I love you, and I'll boop you next time. Bye.